Have you ever been in one of those situations where you just shake your head sometimes when you look at people? Once upon a time, I used to be one of those folks where people used to shake their head at me because I was living in that space. I was living in that low vibrational, chasing after the carrot, trying to seek approval of low vibrational people associated with low vibrational organizations, listening to low vibrational doctrine, following low vibrational cultural norms, and therefore I existed in a low vibration, and there was always some kind of confusion or drama all the damn time. Even when it was quiet, it wasn't quiet. There was some noise some damn well. And for some of you, you're living that life right now. You just don't realize it because you're caught up in it. But once you have that epiphany, once you wake up and decide you're going to walk with the real creator who created this whole damn thing and start listening to the messages directly without any interlopers and all this old foolishness, and actually processing it every single day and sharing your knowledge and wisdom with other people, believe me, the more you share, the more you receive. The more you receive, the more you share. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. And I'm getting downloads and stuff every single day. I see the world differently. I see people differently. I'm picking up on shit. And sometimes I will pick up on people's energy so much that I could feel what they feel. And that could be a pain in the ass when you're an empath. Because that's what I discovered that I was. When I was younger, I used to cry a lot, and that was partly because of my anxiety. But when I got older, I found out when somebody else was upset, I found myself, if not more upset than them. And later on, I'm trying to figure out why, because I was picking up on their energy and didn't understand it. Those are empathic abilities, and some of us have that, and we don't realize why. And that's what it was. So I have to protect my energy. But now that I have a closer relationship with my creator, what I'm doing is I'm starting to check and see whether or not those emotional outbursts that people have are genuine, or if they're a sign of some type of mental illness or a source of emotional manipulation. I'm beginning to learn how to differentiate those things now. Now, there was a video, and I kind of just resent it to my DMs to select people. I'm going to do it again that I did at the beginning of this channel called Officially Sick and Tired. And when I was speaking in that, I also referred to the fact that it is time for somebody else to cry. It's time for somebody else to be nervous and have sleepless nights. It's somebody else's turn. Some of you have to decide in your mind that it's not just good deeds. You got to have a belief and a fire deep down in your heart that you are going to keep going no matter what. Once you find that purpose and it has been clear what kind of relationship you have with your spiritual... Excuse me, I just woke up, people. With your creator, okay? Once you've established that, believe me, you're going to start picking up things differently. And unfortunately, you were the person back in the day that used to suffer and cry and worry, and the people around you had typecast you as such, had painted you in a picture where there ain't no hope for you. Some of them even talked against you, figured that's the way it's going to be for the rest of your life. Some people spoke against your life. But see, now the tables have turned, and now it's their time to cry and go through the same turmoil, the same mind fuckery, and everything that you went through. And some of these people are very, very close to you, and it's hurtful for you to see. But I'm going to tell you a couple of the reasons why they're going through this. Okay? Now, I mentioned in previous audios that, when you are going through something, you're going to run into two types of people. Well, kind of three types. Well, because the third type kind of ties into the second. The first type of person, and this is probably I would say maybe 20% of the people that you already know, and that's a big number. This is the type of person who is going to be there the whole time. They're going to be your listening ear. They're going to be your support. They're going to pray for you. And they're going to just hold on no matter what you do or what you say, because in their mind at the end of the day, you're going to be okay. They have faith in you no matter what. Very small population of the people you're associated with. But the majority of the other ones, and half of those other ones claim they have a belief in God and a spiritual relationship, but when things get tough, they get going. And the other half don't give a shit. These are the naysayers. These are the ones that are out there that every time that you breathe hard in the wrong direction, they're broadcasting it to the whole world. They have sinister intentions, sinister beliefs. They probably are angry at you, frustrated, bitter, disappointed. Anytime something goes on wrong in their life, whether it's their fault or anything else, somehow or another it's your fault because of their negative feelings towards you. Anytime that there's an ounce of trouble that goes on anywhere, all of a sudden you're connected, whether you're connected or not. And these people don't believe that you're going to make it. Some of them actually think you're going to die. Some of them actually think you're going to lose your mind. Some of us have already lost our mind, but we got it back thanks to the Creator. Hallelujah. But these people, they just don't believe. They don't believe. So what happens to these people, and at some point later on, after you come out on the other side, brand spanking new, ain't feeling it, ain't hearing it, and ain't taking it, and you walking in a positive light because you got the Creator walking with you, you got your ancestors fighting on your behalf, you got the archangels protecting you, you got your spirit guides giving you wisdom, you got this team, this celestial team of people that are with you at all times, and you are brand spanking new. You don't walk the same, you don't talk the same, you don't eat the same, you don't think the same, you don't sleep the same, and because of that, you're attracting a different group of people in your life. You are living in light. You are moving forward, not backwards. And these same people, first of all, they're pissed off because you made it. And don't want to admit it, half of them. And second of all, they start going through shit themselves. What happens is with these people, the same torture and bullshit you went through in your spirit, in your mind, these people are going through it now. These people are going through it now. The same anxiety, the same lack of sleep, suicidal thoughts, substance abuse, instability with job, instability with home, instability with education, failed romantic relationships, all this shit that you went through, and I'm speaking from my experience, all these things have completely turned all the way around in my world, and what happened was is all those negative energies went to the people who spoke against you when you were suffering, and they're suffering those exact same things. Goes back to the theory about Einstein, and like I said, it should be a fact. Energy is neither created or destroyed. It goes from one source to another. So all of those negative energies that lived inside of me went directly to the people who did not think I was going to make it. They're going through all of it. Do I relish in it? No. It hurts to know that they hurt. But it brought clarity to me, because this is the point, and all of us are going to go through this. When you finally get over to the other side and you start seeing certain people that you thought had your back going through the same shit that you went through, that confirms that they didn't have your back. Because the ones who had your back wind up being blessed. But the ones who didn't wind up suffering the same thing that you suffered. That's how you can determine who was for you and who's against you. Watch the fruits. We all have to take that dark walk. And some of us don't make it, and I said this in a previous audio. It might be a case where it could be family members, and that really hurts because they're your family. It could be someone you known for years who you thought had your back, but when you start seeing them go through the same shit that you went through and you don't understand why, that's why. Because deep down, they did not think you were going to make it. And they're probably the ones who spoke against you. Or, better yet, and this is a tricky one, they could have been privy to people who spoke against you but never defended you. Oh yeah, there are consequences for that, people. There are consequences for you allowing someone to tear someone else down and not defend that person. You have a level of responsibility too. You are an accessory to that spiritual crime. And just like in the legal system, if you are aware of somebody doing something and you either support it or do not do anything about it to stop the crime, and the law finds out, you can be charged. It's the same way in the spirit world. If you see someone who is doing someone wrong spiritually, and that person is not enlightened, they're doing it out of malicious intent and out of hate and frustration, and you know about it and do nothing, you are an accessory to that crime. So don't be surprised if you start suffering the same shit that that person went through. There are millions of people on this planet right now wondering why they're going through the stuff that they went through. They don't understand why. It's because they were privy to someone else tearing down and hurting an innocent person and didn't do anything about it. Innocent bystander, my ass. You were a bystander and did nothing. You weren't innocent in that case. You didn't defend that person. That's a spiritual crime. So the best way to deal with this is if you know somebody dealing with something shady and they don't want to do anything about it, leave them alone. Don't make yourself present in that person's energy. And there are a lot of people right now that are teetering and tipping around with people that are doing illegal stuff, immoral things and everything else. And then when all of a sudden shit happens to them, they're wondering why. It's because you are associating with that. You're being unequally yoked. So now you're suffering the same circumstances as the person that's being torn down. I know it's getting deep. It's first thing in the morning, and I know it's getting deep. And I'm really sorry, but this has to be said. And unfortunately, you as the person who came out on the other side, you got to sit here and you got to watch people who you love suffer the same thing that you went through because of their mindset when you went through your shit. Energy is being transferred. So just keep them in your prayers and meditation and pray that they come out of it and have a stronger relationship and a better understanding of how this universe thing works. More respect for the Creator, more respect for His children. I pray that they make it, because that's what I'm doing. With that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. Peace.